Hey everyone, happy election day. If you are like me in this time, you might be pretty grateful that the second Tuesday of November has finally rolled around and this election cycle may finally as to be over. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to. I hope you all go out and vote. It is our civic duty. It is our responsibility to take part in it, or it doesn't matter. And I am just thrilled to have my radio station back. Uh, as one of like the last five people in the entire world that listens to the radio on a pretty regular basis, it'll be nice to have my station back where it's not one song and then 10 political ads. But there's where I want to talk about the politics. Is we've spent so much time in the last few months listening to how terrible Democrats are and how evil Republicans are and how the other side is Satan incarnate. Bethany and I literally saw a semi with the dirt in the trailer that said Jesus is love in the dirt, and then Joe Biden is Lucifer. So we've come to that point. We've come farther than I think we've ever been before in terms of demonization and all that. And I think it's because we don't talk about it. I don't think we can be civil, and I think that comes from our inability to deal with each other's conflict. When someone hurts another person, or when we get wounded, or when we get hurt, we either don't speak for ourselves, or we don't own up. Either way, I mean, we have people who refuse just to admit when they're wrong, and that's just terrible leadership. Good leadership says, yeah, I messed up. I'm going to own it, and let's move forward and do some good stuff from it. We can learn. But we also do this thing that when someone does something that hurts us or wounds us, the action should be corrected, right? We should take the steps to have it corrected, either in ourselves or in someone else. I know I would. And in fact, Jesus says to Matthew chapter 18, if a brother or sister has sinned against you, you first go to them directly, and then if they refuse to listen, then you take a couple with you, and if they don't and still listen, then you go to the church, etc., etc. But the first thing you do, or we do, or supposed to do, is to go to them directly, to face. We like to spend our time telling everybody else how that person has done wrong, instead of just going to the person. So then we try to bolster our side of the argument and get people in our court and this and that, because everything's prepping for the fight. When most conflicts, most struggles, most problems could be handled with an honest conversation. But see, we prepare for retaliation. We do that, and Jesus comments on that in Matthew as well. He says, you've heard it said, the law says that an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, but I tell you, an eye for an eye, and the world goes blind. And then he says, if they slap you on the cheek, give them the other one. They threaten to see you, let them take your coat also. He take a step further. But we aren't honest. We aren't upfront, and that's how we've gotten where we have gotten in our current cycle of politics, of how we interact with each other, because it's an indication of our society that we are incapable of speaking directly to one another. I think that has to change. I think it has to change soon, or we will see significant falls. So I'm going to try to lean on the words of Jesus, and if a brother or sister wounds me, or if I wound them, I hope they come to me directly. I'm not going to talk about how someone hurt my feelings or did something bad to anyone else. I'll just deal with it. I wonder what the world would be like if we were able to just deal with it and come to resolutions and not retaliations. You all have a blessed week. I look forward to seeing you all soon.